So ONVO just had another launch event. This time it was for their AI cockpit system, aka Coconut. And also tomorrow, starting tomorrow, a lot of ONVO stores will be open and the cars will be there to see, and sales reps will be there. You can actually go into the car, which will be very, very cool. So the event started off with ONVO CEO Tia Chung talking about the R&D capabilities of NIO, how they've invested a lot of money into R&D. They've got over 9,000 patents with over 11,000 R&D employees across the world. And straight after that, they launched Coconut, which is their operating system name. NIO's operating systems are named after trees. ONVO's operating system will be named after fruits. So that's kind of interesting. So this is an AI-based full entirety control operating system, which is based off of SkyOS, which is NIO's own self-developed code. So it's sort of like Android, but they made their own Android. And I've talked about how this is quite amazing. And then they had this clever transition where they wanted to showcase the other employee, but he's actually inside the ONVO car playing the new Wukong game inside the ONVO. So you know this car is going to be able to support these kind of AAA games, which is quite amazing, and he's just there having a blast. And this was all live. All right, so here he comes out, and this guy is the product manager for ONVO. So this guy did not skip a beat. He straight up talked about how ONVO's operating system will last you 10 years, and it's going to have 10 years of intelligent capabilities. So it's going to last you a very long time. And at the very first, he started comparing about how ONVO system is all-in-one inclusive. CPU controls everything, whereas for a lot of other cars, they have individualized components to control different parts of the car. Even for Tesla Model Y, they have something for a system for their autonomous driving, and then another system for the cockpit controls. Whereas with NIO, it's all in one, and that's basically opening the door for a lot more features and a lot more upgradability down the line. And thanks to the intelligent operating system, the capabilities of the car, you can tell that the overall delay is only 1 millisecond for the ONVO L60, whereas with Tesla Model Y, there's 10 millisecond delay, and with the other guys, it varies greatly. He also talked about how with traditional EVs and other cars, when you have a low power standby mode, you still have to provide voltage to all the different components, whereas for the ONVO L60, you can provide voltage for the individualized components. So there's over 129 different configurations of low power mode that they've tested and is available. And they've done industry first where they have a central cloud, which is what everybody has, but they also have like a side cloud, which allows processing time to be reduced by 50% and delay time to be improved by 25 milliseconds. So this is just data for the car, etc. It's pretty nice. And then they discussed more about the interior of the car, the different screens, how the screen is bigger than the Model Y, very thin bezels. They talked about the heads-up display, what the screen is capable of doing, and then all the different cool features, and also the rear screen as well. It reaches very good brightness. There's anti-fingerprint, anti-reflection, anti-scratch, and also the heads-up display reaches very good brightness. You can see lots of information with the heads-up display, and also the rear screen, also very, very cool. You can do all sorts of functions, camping mode, etc. The car is coming with the new Snapdragon 8295 performance chip, 60 TOPS processing power, 24 gigabytes of RAM, and then 256 gigabytes of storage. And you can tell that this is actually 2 times more capable than the standard 8295 chip, and then actually up to 6 times more powerful than the central processing unit that Tesla uses, which is the AMD Ryzen, which is very interesting. And then it's much higher than the 8155 chip, which was used in previous generation NIOs as well. Now the ONVO L60 also has much more RAM, 1.5 times more RAM than the Tesla Model Y. Quite interesting. And then with that, they're able to wake the car in as little as 1.5 seconds. And then if you have any sort of commands and everything like that, everything can be done within 1.5 seconds, which is quite amazing. And then they spent some time and talked about the sound system, 7.1.4 Dolby surround sound with 16 speakers. They got AI intelligent sound, which is very immersive and adapts to the condition that you're in. For the car, if you're playing games and stuff like that, they have different sound effects, and also the individualized speakers know where you are. And then when it comes to interior mood lighting, they have lots of different lighting modes, and the lights can also flicker based on the music that you're playing. And they just showcased, all sorts of if you want to have a party inside the car, you totally can. They also have lots of different kind of themes, European themes, like Himalayas or like Denmark, and all sorts of interesting themes to go with the RGB lighting in the car. And then they had this excellent little clip to showcase the camping features inside the car, or more so the comfort features inside the car. And you can see they have all sorts of different modes. They also have their own Guardian mode, which is like Sentry Mode, and it's a very nice posh interior, and it's able to have very good climate control. And you can see this is the bed configuration where everything is laid flat. You have a very comfortable bed. And then camping, you can also get like, I think, 3 kilowatts output from the car, so you're able to even cook outside if you need to. And there's plenty of storage space. And the car overall very intelligent, and can also have this camera see at how your baby's doing, play soothing music for the baby in the back, have a little bit of nice chilled breeze. And yeah, overall this is a pretty interesting promo video, and showing this birthday event for the L60. And it's definitely a very nice family car, and you can play games, of course. Here playing some games, very cool. And then you can sleep in the car. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, definitely more of a family car. Very cool. They're gonna have a lot of different games and apps supported in the car, which is amazing. Next up, they showcased their very own Sentry Mode, which is NIO calls it Guardian Mode, and it basically has everything that you're supposed to have with Sentry Mode. 24 hours, it only uses 0.9 kilowatt hours of electricity, which is pretty nice. And it's able to detect everything and also send you a report on your phone, which is quite nice. Next, they talked about Nomi GBT in the car, which is they call it 小乐, it's basically Nomi, and it has all the voice activation features, and it knows who it's talking to using the cameras. They know if you're a baby or you're not, or if you're the wife, etc. And also, if you want to know what building landmarks or anything nearby, you can just ask this 小乐 GBT anything you want. Next, they talked about Autopilot features, and of course, this car uses a 4D millimeter wave radar, so it's able to see quite well, and you can have a good visualization of what the car sees versus the camera. All right, and then they showcased the Autopilot in action, so the car is able to detect 400 meters forward, up to 400 meters forward in these clear weather conditions, and with rain, it's still able to detect quite far. So this is very capable. And also, their big slogan is the fact that at launch you're able to use this because it is highly based on NIO's existing Autopilot driving capabilities and software, whereas for a lot of other guys, for example Xiaomi's SU7, you still have to wait until Autopilot comes along. So this is definitely a very cool, capable car. So overall, I mean, this definitely does help the Chinese audience and people waiting for the car to get excited once again about this car. And the Autopilot features will be available at launch, and this car is going to last you a very long time, both in terms of quality and in terms of software capability as well. The ONVO CEO has directly addressed the fact that in this market, there's a lot of product cycle changes, and lots of competitors are upgrading their products really quickly in order to get the upper hand, but it also causes a lot of confusion with consumers. They're like, oh, am I gonna buy this car? Like, is it gonna become outdated? So this car, ONVO 60, isn't going to be outdated because it's future proof for a very long time. And of course, guys, this is just the, I guess, AI cockpit launch event. It's not the full car launch event. For that, we probably will have to wait another month until that comes along. But definitely, this is very, very cool. And this car, you can tell from the get-go, the technology they use is the best. The software they use is the latest. It's even better than NIO, mark my words, in terms of the software. I can't wait to check out the software. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.